Guys, we are live and we have Mr. Ranjit Bajaj with us. It's an honor for us to have him in this show. And welcome to each and every one of you who are watching. And we'll dive into the world of football and get to know him better. Thank you, sir, for being here.
It's my pleasure, Abhishek, and so sorry because everybody can see my face is a little bit swollen because I have had a surgery in the mouth, some extractions. So please forgive if my face thopada is looking swollen. Otherwise, everything.
That's not a problem. So everybody is a fan of football, so these things are like pretty common among us.
Yes.
So, sir, we have been taking a lot of initiatives, and after the Minerva Punjab project, you have taken on the new project of AFCAI. So, if you would just throw some light on it, so people would know what this initiative is all about.
Yes, definitely, Abhishek. See, we had a association for players where Ranjit Singh is the head, Football Players Association of India (FPAI). We have AIFC, which is Association for Indian Football Coaches (AIFC), which is headed by Dinesh Nair. So
Right.
now these organizations were there to look after the interests of the coaches and then for the players respectively. And in fact, the clubs and academies are the ones who employ players and coaches. And if there are no clubs and academies, there'll be no players and coaches because that is the whole vicious cycle. So
Correct.
unfortunately, in India, there was no association till now to look after the interests of these clubs and academies. And in fact, when I talk about clubs and academies, I don't even mean the ones at the top level. Because if you are in the ISL or in the I League, you have enough people looking after you or looking after your needs and rights. And even if you don't, even if you say something, it'll be taken care of because you're in the top level. But when I'm talking about at the lowest level. When you say you develop grassroots, that means you have to develop these academies. When you say grassroots, it's a very general term, and you say people have to start playing and kids have to start playing. Where do kids play? They play in academies. They play in football clubs, which are their local clubs. And unless you support the smallest local clubs and academies where kids go and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 year olds go and play, it's very difficult for our ecosystem to grow up. So the AFCI, Association of Football Clubs and Academies of India, was launched, and very proud to say that starting from I League clubs like Gokulam and Chennai City, and then going down even to the lowest level of clubs, to district and amateur level clubs, we've got over 100 clubs and academies who've already registered. And see, the support they get
Right.
from us is, first of all, membership is totally free. And what do they get? They get every support in the world. So suppose you say that, I have a problem in establishing a social media presence. So then we actually put people of social media with you, experts, and they have a webinar with you and they explain on exactly step by step on how to do it. Suppose you say, मैंने
Right.
ना accreditation करानी थी और मुझे accreditation process नहीं समझ आ रहा है, मुझे problems हो रही हैं उसमें. So we put a guy who is going to help you through that process. Suppose you say, I need sponsors, and so we put a marketing guy who makes a sponsorship deck for you and tells you exactly how to go and approach sponsors, where all you can go and approach sponsors. Suppose you people are doing really badly and you are a small academy team, so we go to foundations and get you funding. For example, we've got funding for already for around 10 to 11 academies and clubs all over India who were in a very, very small basis, and we have got salaries for their coaches given to them. This is Mars Football Foundation in Telangana, and then there's a small football club in Nagaland who used to support 10-year-old kids, and in the lockdown they didn't have anybody, so we sent them kits and boots and bibs. So now what are we hoping? What is the whole point? See, the point is that the clubs at the top, their level will go. That means the value, suppose their value is 50 crores today. Their value will become 5,000 crores when we are in the top five of the world. When will we be in the top five of the world? When the entire ecosystem is developed. That means when the grassroots is developed, then they start producing better players. They'll start producing Messis and Neymars. But if you keep them the way they are and only keep the money in the top and support in the top, then we'll never get to that level where we are hoping to get to.
Right, sir. So that's brilliantly said, and I really love this initiative and the way you have been supporting the academies, the way you promote youth football, the way you promote like playing football from the age of 4, 5, and then upwards. So that's brilliant, and that's actually something I also am a big fan of. So, sir, can you just throw some light on the mission 2034 that we all read about? What exactly are you planning to do?
Yes, bhai, that's very close to my heart. See, because I've won all the titles, I can now tell you for a fact that winning titles, yes, if you win the first one, it gives you happiness. And then, when you win so many titles, the happiness is there, but it's not complete happiness because it's kind of personal. It's for your club and your club's fans, and if you it's a junior title, it's for the boys and the parents of the boys who get the happiness. Whereas when your country does well, the entire country gets happiness. And if you are responsible for your country doing well, that happiness is into 1,000 times. For example, जब
Right.
Jackson Singh वाला goal score किया था, and we
Oh,
had 1.3 billion people rising up. I mean, the goosebumps which I got that time, the feeling which I got that time was not even anywhere close to when I won the I League title, senior title.
so I'm just
So
getting goosebumps at the moment, just thinking about
exactly.
that goal.
So, and when I see the replay of that thunderbolt by Anwar Ali, which he scored against Argentina under 20,
Right.
some four boys in that Argentina team today are in the senior team of Argentina. When they used to say, na, then, the team was not good enough. There were four boys in that team who are playing in the senior Argentina team today. And that's the kind of team we had beaten. So these are the kind of things which make me happy. And so I said, okay, fine. Legacy is not getting titles. Legacy is getting your country to the World Cup. And we should stop talking about getting countries to the World Cup. We should stop looking at participation certificates. We should talk about winning the World Cup. Only if we talk about winning the World Cup will we ever get there. If we talk about getting there, we'll never get there. So our aim is to produce a team which is going to be so great that one day that team within 20 years we should be able to win the World Cup. And unless you aim at that high, you have no chance of reaching that high. You have to aim for the top. You can't aim for the bottom ladder and say we want to qualify for the World Cup because that is not the way champions think. Simple.
Right, sir. So
So
how do you exactly plan? Yes, sir.
the plan is 15 years. The plan is
All right.
starting now, culminating then. And how? It's not about getting the best boy, getting your league. मैं player इतने अच्छे produce कर दूंगा and they'll be able to play. No, we will never be able to do it unless the players they are playing against are also at a high level. So how do you do that? We take them for exposure trips every year since the age of 9 till the age of 15. And our hope is by the age of 15, at least 7, 8 of them are playing in the Premier Leagues of the world. So if we have, suppose, 4 boys playing in the English Premier League and we have 3 boys playing in the German Premier League and 2 boys in the Spanish Premier League, India will guaranteed qualify for the World Cup because those 9 boys will be part of our team and 9 boys who are playing in the Premier Leagues will definitely beat Asian teams and be in the top 4 of Asia. That's the whole point. The
Right.
point is to ensure we are challenging for the Asian Cup. So even see the guys who are challenging, who are the champions of Asia, are finding it difficult to go anywhere beyond the quarterfinals there, like Japan. And that's what we have to think of. We can't just think of being another China and qualifying and then getting beaten by 10 goals. And that can only happen when you give these young boys an opportunity to play against Spain when they are 8, and against Germany when they are 9, and against England when they are 10, and against Netherlands when they are 11. So that when they actually meet them for the first time in senior football, is no big deal because they've beaten them then, and that belief factor of belief is there because they've beaten them before. And that is not there with the Indian senior teams right now. When they go and play, suppose Japan, they can't even think that we'll be win. They're only thinking, okay, my God, we should not get beaten by at least 4 goals today. That's it. That's the only thing they're thinking about. So when we drew with Qatar, that was the biggest win forever. I mean, people were
Yeah.
celebrating like we won the World Cup, but it was a draw with Qatar. But it was because we had that's our thinking is so limited. Imagine if it was a win. That's how we have to think
Right.
about
The
the
win would have been 100 times
0-0,
better, sir.
0-0. Yeah, and that would have probably caused a revolution. Draws don't cause a revolution. If you want revolution in Indian football, you go and beat the world champions or Asian champions.
Right.
Then Indians will start believing.
Yeah. So you mean that the threshold must be way, way higher than it is at the
Yes,
moment. The basic expectations should be higher.
our expectations are so low, and then when we don't even reach them because our expectations
Right.
are low, we are saying, "Oh my God, we are in despair." Our expectations should be high, but not only expectations, the preparation should be like that. That is why there has to be a proper plan for 15, 20 years. In 1970s, Japan was planning to win the World Cup in 2030. In 1970, 60 years before. And that means those boys they were planning for had not even been born. The grandparents were planning that my grandchildren will win the World Cup. ये इनकी planning है. और हमारी
Right.
planning 4 साल से आगे होती नहीं है कभी. And that is why we can never win World Cups in football. Unless you have boys who are playing from the age of 5, at least till the age of 11, they should already be masters with the ball. And then they should be
Right.
able to learn technical and tactical skills. What's happening now is I-League starts at under 13. So for the first time, a boy comes to a professional academies at the age of 11. And that's when they learn the basics. It's too late.
Yes, actually, it's too late. Yes, sir. I also agree. They have to like be there from the age of 4, 5. They have to start playing, start acclimatizing themselves with the ball. Right, sir. So, what are your views on the roadmap of Indian football? What we saw recently regarding the ISL, I-League, that's football structure in
See,
India.
Abhishek bhai, अगर road map follow हो गया, we'll have a great future. That means, चलो, if at least the fight, I had really fought for this, and the fight came to a
Yes,
fruitful
I
conclusion.
remember.
Otherwise, ये जो अभी हुआ है, ये पहले होने लगा था. Without this road map being disturbed, they were going to take Mohan Bagan East Bengal and tell all the other clubs to fuck off. But now,
Right.
because road map, there's going to be proper promotion and relegation. If proper promotion and relegation happen, and there are, hopefully in 10 years, 20 clubs in the Premier League, 20 in the second, 20 in the third, then we'll have a good system. See, we need to have a good third division for a good second division, and same good second
Absolutely.
division for a good first division. क्या मतलब 2025 में से 2 ISL क्लब नीचे आएंगे, रेलीगेट होएंगे. और अगर सपोज दे गेट रेलीगेटेड टू अ लीग जिसके पास प्रमोशन, जिसके पास कोई कैमरास नहीं है, जिसके पास कोई टेलीकास्ट नहीं है, स्पॉन्सर नहीं है, क्राउड्स नहीं है, तो दे विल बिकम इवन वीकर, नॉट स्ट्रॉन्गर, द ISL क्लब्स. ठीक है? So you're
Right.
basically killing when you relegate them. So whereas in the English Premier League, the Championship and the Premier League difference is only this much. And the top half of the Championship can beat the bottom half of the Premier League any day. The difference is not much.
Right, sir.
And
Exactly.
that is what has to
Exactly.
be there between the two leagues in India. And it's there right now, but it has to be done in a structured way, promotion and relegation. And both leagues have to be supported in the same way, because end of the day, it's part of the same ecosystem. Now the second division will not be strong unless and until the state leagues are strong. Why? The third division is actually the state leagues. State league का जो
Right.
champion होता है second division में आता है. So हमारे को state
Right.
leagues को strong करना पड़ेगा. And we have to make sure that each state compulsory guarantees. We keep on saying, 1.5 billion people hai hamare paas, we can't produce, but actually looking at it, is first to 50% males hai, so 700 million kar lo. So 700 million के बाद जो बूढ़े हैं और बच्चे हैं वो निकाल लो, तो हमारे रह जाएंगे 300 मिलियन. 300 मिलियन में से एक्चुअली जो फुटबॉल खेलते हैं वो रह जाएंगे 5 मिलियन या 10 मिलियन. 10 मिलियन में से जो हमारे फुटबॉल के लायक होंगे, प्रोफेशनल खेलना चाहते हैं, वो नॉट मोर देन 100,000 है. अब 100,000 बंदों को तो तुम रखो, बिकॉज क्या होता है कि 100,000 में से 20,000 तो मेरे यूपी में से हैं, और यूपी में हमारे पास सीनियर लीग ही नहीं है. 5,000 मेरे मध्य प्रदेश में है, 5,000 मेरे हिमाचल में है. ऐसी जगहों पे हमारे 5,000 बंदे रूल रहे हैं जो हमारे टॉप लीग के अंदर आ ही नहीं रहे हैं. वाई? बिकॉज वहां पे स्टेट लीग ही नहीं है. अब चंडीगढ़ में से फॉर एग्जांपल अगर मिनरवा ना आता, पंजाब में से
Right.
मिनरवा ना आता, तो हमें कभी कमलप्रीत सिंह ना मिलता, हमें कभी सुखदेव ना मिलता, गाटी ना मिलता, नोंग ना मिलता, जैक्सन ना मिलता, ऑल दीज बॉयज वर नॉट गॉट, बट ये लड़के थे कहीं ना कहीं. So you
Right.
have to have clubs from each and every place. Otherwise, you will have. That's why this AFCA comes in, so that we support clubs
All
and
right.
academies all over. So we have clubs and academies coming from all over India, because we don't want the next Salah जो हम ढूंढ रहे हैं, मोहम्मद साला इंडिया का पहला, या मोहम्मद या मेसी पहला, या रोनाल्डो पहला, वो मिस ना हो
Right.
जाए. वो है,
Right,
ऑलरेडी
sir.
है, and that
Yes.
means that guy who will be the superstar of Indian football, that means he's already been born. We have to just look for it.
Right. Yes, sir. And that's a very good concept when you think of it. Like the
See,
player is already there. You just have to
you
find it
say,
out.
you say Indian football will reach world class standards in 20-25 years. That means we'll have world class players by 25 years. That means that boy has already been born.
Right. Right. That's a brilliant long-term planning, and that's actually a very good eye opener to the viewers. Sir, we have a few questions for you. You can see.
Yeah, yeah.
Prakhar Bhattacharji says, "Tell us something about Himanshu Jangra. Can we see him as our future national team striker?"
Prakhar, was a brilliant question, and when people keep on asking me about the replacement for Sunil Chetri, you've got him there in Himanshu Jangra. Yes, because he will be. There'll be a gap of at least 3-4 years before Sunil Chetri and Himanshu Jangra, because Himanshu is just 16 right now, and Sunil probably will retire in a couple of years. And by the time Himanshu actually starts scoring, he'll be probably. I mean, getting into the Indian team, he'll be 18, 19. So if Sunil Chetri is able to play for 3 years, hopefully we'll have Himanshu playing right next to him. So you'll see now when he plays in the second division for Mohammedan Sporting, I'm already predicting that he will score goals. And saying that
Right.
for an Indian striker, when I'm saying that I can guarantee you the 16-year-old will score goals, and I'm putting my word out there on media, it's a very, very big statement, because I'm so confident. That boy is so good. He if he gets game time, that boy has the level to go beyond Sunil Chetri, because I've never seen someone who is so good with finishing. See, his power is nothing but finishing. He's a finisher. So if he gets the ball in the box, he will put it in the back of the net. Simple as that.
Right.
And that's
He
what we
has
were
that
missing.
instinct, you mean?
And that Sunil Chetri has. You give him the ball, he will put it into the net, because he knows he doesn't require power, he doesn't require this. He knows exactly what to do to put it in the corner. And that's what this 16-year-old has. So it's amazing.
Right.
And he was apparently playing against Narayan Das that day. And the people watching him that day told me that he played only for 20 minutes because he got injured. He
Yeah.
got a knock on his ankle, small injury. But, for safety, the coach took him off. So when he started and he was playing with Willis Plaza, everybody was marking Willis Plaza. Narayan Das was on Himanshu. And three times in 15 minutes, Narayan Das was nutmegged by Himanshu, by a 16-year-old. And Narayan Das is the main centre back for the Indian team. I mean, he's the best right back we have, one of the best right backs we have in the country. And he was
Right.
being taken for a ride. So this guy's level, people will come to know. As long as he's nurtured, that means we don't want another Komal Dhatkal who's been made to sit on the bench and wasted.
Right. Right. Exactly,
हम
sir.
अपने बच्चों को गेम टाइम नहीं देंगे तो हमारे बच्चे गोल स्कोर नहीं करेंगे. अब मेरे पास इतने रिकॉर्ड हैं, आई कैन इवन बिलीव इट, इतने रिकॉर्ड है फॉर द यंगेस्ट स्कोरर्स. तो पहले साल जब मैंने फुटबॉल शुरू किया आई लीग में, तो पहले साल ही मुझे समझ नहीं आया कि ये कोई भी टीम्स 16-17 साल के बच्चे खिलाते नहीं है. क्या प्रॉब्लम है इंडियन फुटबॉल को? मैंने 4 लड़के लोन पे लिए. लोग साइन करते हैं. मैंने लोन पे कितने साल के बच्चे लिए? 16 साल के बच्चे 4 लिए लोन पे. किससे? चेन्नई से. उनमें
Right.
से एक बच्चा थापा, और
Yes.
एक और
Now he is one of the best national team starter.
वहां पे चांस नहीं मिल रहा था, और मैंने सीनियर टीम के लिए लोन पे लिए. और एक था बोडो, and I played them for the first time, and they both scored, and we beat Mumbai City, and they became the first. Thapa became the youngest, and in the same match, then Bodo broke his record and became the youngest scorer ever in the I League. And उसके बाद वो दोनों सारे मैच खेले. Now Thapa is one of the mainstays of the Indian senior team, and
Right.
it's because they give them game time. Then after that, the next year, the same thing. After that, the next year was with Chote, and then he became not only the youngest scorer in the I League. Then after that, Toiba became the youngest scorer in the I League. Then he became the youngest scorer in the AFC Cup. मतलब एशिया में लोग नहीं खिलाते हैं. He became first the youngest player to play in the AFC, and then he became the youngest scorer to score in the AFC Cup. He scored against Manan. So if you give opportunity to young boys, they will pay off. Like for example, this time Mohan Bagan, I think won the title because of Shubho Ghosh. Because of that, what that brilliant boy did at the right time, every time he got a mauka, he scored for his mother club, and he
Right.
was their academy product. Same thing, if you look at Nong, he was my academy product, but look at the way, and he played each and every match for Mohan Bagan. And it was Shubho Ghosh and Nong. If those two guys were not there for Mohan Bagan, doesn't matter who was there, they would have not got the title. That's how much of an impact those two boys made. One was 20, 19, and one is 17.
It's brilliant to see, sir, how these like young players actually make a big impact. What we actually do not see,
Hmm.
basically, like what the big management people actually don't appreciate or actually don't see. So, sir, we have a few questions that before we dive into a question, can you just share how to be a part of AFCI so that many of our viewers can actually pitch in and help in this initiative?
Brilliant. So yes, we have on Instagram and on Twitter, we are there AFCI, and on Facebook. You can go there and you'll see the forms there. But I'll be sharing the forms with you, Abhishek, so you can see
Yeah,
Quad Cobra will share those forms officially with everyone tomorrow after after the show. I'll share them today, and tomorrow they'll share the forms. So I
absolutely.
request everybody to be part of that. See, guys, anybody who requires anything at any level of Indian football, from wanting sessions for your teams. So you'll have Minerva coaches making sessions for your teams. If you want your coaches to get experience, so you can send your coaches to Minerva and we'll put them under our A licenses. They'll learn the Minerva way. They can go and apply it that in their own academies. If you want us to help you in accreditation, in social media, in marketing, in sponsorship, if you have a problem with your state association, anything, we are there for you because you are the real stakeholders. Only if you do well, players will do well, and coaches will do well, and our country's football will do well. Simple. I
Right.
keep on getting questions about Anwar Ali, and Preetham has asked me a
Yes, sir.
question about. See, this is something very close to my heart. I have brought this boy up since the age of 13 when I found him grazing cattle outside Jalandhar. Next to Jalandhar is a village called Adampur. Adampur ke bhi bahar jaake, next to a railway line. He used to live in a Choppadpatti, and he still does. His parents, three sisters, because of his time in Arrows, he's been able to marry off one sister. Two sisters are still not married. His sister and mother still goes to the fields. मतलब वो वहाँ पे fields में जाके अपने आप को relieve करते हैं. They don't even have a पक्का bathroom. So this is their state. And when you ask a soldier that you can go and die on the border, everybody knows that he's taken the job and he's going to die. So I'm not trying to compare a soldier's job with him, but I'm trying to tell you that it's a job. For him, it's a job. So now the other way out is, अगर होता ना चलो ठीक है इसकी education होती, he's uneducated. Not only is uneducated, he has no chance of making it as a coach or as a scout or any other work. So the only way out is either he will be working as a laborer, पत्थर तोड़ रहा होगा रोड पे. अगर वो नहीं करना तो वो फुटबॉल खेलेगा. कहाँ खेलेगा? कलकत्ता जाके खेप खेलेगा, जहाँ पे हर मैच के लिए इसको 1,000-500 मिलेंगे. मैच दिन के 6-7 मैच खेलेगा, और वहां पे तो गारंटीड हार्ट अटैक होएगा ही होएगा इसको, और वहां पे कोई नहीं होएगा
Right.
बचाने के. So see, the point
Right.
is, either we want equality. Equality is we care about the person's health, yes. But if FIFA medical network and FIFA says according to this condition, Anwar should be allowed to play, then AFF is no one to stop. When Dipendu Biswas had the same condition, and he played after that for 250 matches and didn't listen to Mahindra United, went to another club and played for one of the biggest giants in Calcutta, and nothing happened. 2 years ago, Anwar Ali Senior को हार्ट अटैक हुआ था while playing for East Bengal. उसके बाद भी कोई मेडिकल कमेटी फॉर्म नहीं हुई, and nobody was banned. Till now, no players have been banned ever on medical condition for playing football. So you are taking the livelihood away from somebody. तो ये अगर आप सोचते हो कि आप अपनी सेंसिबिलिटीज के लिए कर रहे हो कि कहीं लड़का मर ना जाए फुटबॉल फील्ड पे, तो आप ये नहीं है कि वो मरेगा नहीं, वो मरेगा ही मरेगा, बट वो आपके आंखों के सामने नहीं मरेगा, कहीं रोड पे खेलते हुए मर जाएगा. यहाँ पे अगर उसको कुछ होएगा तो आप उसको बचा सकते हो. देयर इज अ चांस. सो यू हैव
चांस
पीपल
रहता
हैव
है.
understanding that it is about not whether he will play or not play. He will guaranteed play. He has no other way out of poverty. Simple as that. अगर मैं उसकी जगह होता तो मैं भी यही करता. I can tell you for a fact because I've seen कि वो कहाँ रहता है, कौन सी जगह से आया है. और अगर मैं फुटबॉल ना खेलूं, मेरे माँ बाप अगले दिन खाना नहीं खाएंगे, तो मैं फुटबॉल खेलूंगा ही खेलूंगा. कोई चांस ही नहीं है कि मैं ना खेलूं.
राइट.
So
इसका जो
yes, so when you look at it from his point of view, उसके बाद he's asymptomatic, he's never had it. उसके बाद हम ये भी कह रहे हैं चलो ठीक है, अगर आपने बैन करना है तो आप इंडिया में जितने भी प्लेयर हैं सारों का ये टेस्ट कराओ. जिन जिन को भी ये प्रॉब्लम है उनको बैन करो. ये नहीं हो सकता कि सिर्फ आपने इसका टेस्ट किया है और वो गलती से आपके पास रिजल्ट आ गया तो इसको बैन कर रहे हो. So then it should be equality, that everyone in India who has to play professional football should not have this condition, which is equal rights, and
right.
either they should do. अब वो AFF वाले क्यों नहीं करते हैं? क्योंकि हर टेस्ट का 10,000 रुपए कॉस्ट है. अगर वो करने लग जाएंगे तो इनका हर साल 3 करोड़ रुपया टेस्ट पे लग जाएगा. तो इसीलिए वो टेस्ट ही नहीं करते. So now they have to answer whether they should be equal for everybody or not pick him out, because there have been at least 20 people I know of personally in India who at some level or the other have had heart attacks on the football field, and no medical committee by AFF has ever been formed after that. So why now? When isko abhi tak kuch nahi hua. He's never had a heart attack.
Right. I think they have to rethink this matter again, like at
From
least.
also the point of the boy, don't you ever, we should not keep on thinking about our sensibilities. We should think about putting ourselves in his shoes and think कि वो किस स्टेज पे है लाइफ में. 19-20 साल का लड़का जिसको उसके साथ वाले संदेश झिंगन को 12 करोड़ रुपए मिल रहे हैं और वो गरीबी में मर रहा है. और फुटबॉल खेलेगा तो वो संदेश झिंगन बन सकता है या वो रोड पे पत्थर तोड़ सकता है. तो कौन बंदा अपनी लाइफ की जान नहीं लगाएगा? सारे लगाएंगे. और जब वो कहने के लिए तैयार है कि मैं I am willing to give a waiver, the club will not, if something happens to me, club will not be responsible, I will not be responsible, the federation will not be responsible, and nobody will be responsible except I will take personal responsibility. Anwar.
Right. The player has himself said it, so things should be reconsidered. I think.
ना सुनील छेत्री की बात करते रहते हैं. अगला संदेश झिंगन कहाँ है? अब ये बताओ मुझे. आप लोगों अभी Indians had to get a center back out of retirement to fulfill, because संदेश झिंगन की इंजरी हो गई थी, उसको अनस को वापस लेके आया ना. ये retired, we had to bring him back. ये हमारी हालत है सेंटर बैक पोजीशन में. और यहाँ पे ऐसा सेंटर बैक है who I have played with Sandesh from the age of when he was 21, 22, 23, and Sandesh is a really close friend of mine. Anwar Ali का level at Sandesh Jhingan से at that age, now Sandesh Jhingan is different. At that age, Anwar Ali is here. Same way when I'm talking about Sunil Chhetri and Himanshu, at their ages, Himanshu is much ahead of Sunil Chhetri. Anwar is much ahead of Sandesh Jhingan. So the kind of, it now depends on us as a country, what we want to do with it.
Right. Sir, a few of our fans are actually showing you some love. They're praising, and actually, sir, I would accept this fact that you have inspired so many people.
Thank you, Upayan.
Sir, there is a question from Rajiv Burman, if you could just...
Yes, so the question is that I heard that I wanted to buy the shares of East Bengal when Quest wanted to leave the club. Yes, that's true. I wanted to buy it because apparently at that time, East Bengal did not have the right to start playing football. Any football. Forget about ISL, I-League, CFL, any football. So what I wanted to buy was the rights to play football. And from very day one, I had told them that I have no money to take you guys to the ISL. My aim is to get the rights back from Quest, because at that time Quest was not willing to give us the rights to back to East Bengal. So aim was to take the rights back from Quest and wait for an investor to come in. And the moment an investor comes in, give the rights. So at least they'll be able to play football till an investor comes in.
Right.
ये नहीं investor नहीं आएगा तो football ही बंद हो जाएगा. So that was the only aim. And that I always said that the moment an investor comes in, I want to get out of here, because I never wanted to be dealing as an owner of East Bengal, because I truly believe that you cannot be owners of East Bengal or Mohun Bagan, because they are too big. You can only be servants of those clubs. Same
Right.
with Mohammedan Sporting, by the way.
Yeah, Mohammedan has actually signed quite a lot of players, and the team is
Oh,
looking
I
actually
think
very good.
the back line is totally Minervan. We've got Samuel
Yeah.
Shirap on this side, Munmun Lagoon is this side, and Kingsley and Anwar Ali. And then we've
Right.
got Moin and Himanshu Jangra. So we've got a lot of Minervans playing there. And other than that, we've got a great team, because we've got Souvik Ghosh, we've got Willis Plaza, and we've got then Yan Law is obviously there with us. And then we've got a
Yeah.
great team. We've got Minerva's analyst Devrup is there. And you've got our team manager Deva, who's there. You've got our physio
Yeah.
Partho, who's there. So it's like a kind of a mini Minerva. So I'm totally
Yeah.
supporting Sporting for getting into the I League and beating everybody in second division.
So it actually looks like they are building the team for the I League. They are kind of sure that yeah, we are going there.
See, that's
It's
the way
a
to do
team
it.
looks like that.
Unless you totally believe in yourself, you'll never make the team believe. Now the team already believes that this is our first goal, and then immediately after that is coming the I League.
Right.
So this is just
Right.
a practice tournament for us, and they're believing that.
Yeah. Another question from Prasenjit. I think they are going to like bombard you with a lot of questions. They were super excited for about 1 or 2 weeks for this. So, is there
Oh,
any advantage for a young Indian player to join ISL club if they don't get proper playing time?
yes, so I really don't think so. I think it's a very big disadvantage unless and until it depends. See, it depends on which ISL club, and it depends on the position they're going to. So if they're going as a striker to an ISL club, it's the worst decision you can make in your life, because they've got 7 foreigners playing. The day the rule changes to 4 foreigners, then you can go in as a youngster in ISL club. Till now, it's a bad decision, especially if you're playing in the spine. That means either as in the forward striker position or as a centre back. Why? Because they will
Right.
always prefer foreigner than you, and they will always prefer an experienced guy. So you'll hardly get any time. And if you don't get game time at this time as a young player, you'll be wasted. Nobody will remember you. For example, Komal Thatkal, no, he had a fantastic World Cup, but nobody knows
Yeah.
where he is. I told him at that time, I had predicted at that time. Minerva had given him free game. I promised him I'll give you game time, we'll give you money, come here, but he wanted to go to ISL. Now, he could have got to the Indian team how? If he had come to Minerva, scored 10 goals, he would have been called by Igor Stimac. But sitting on the bench doesn't matter how good you are, you'll never be called for the national team.
Right. People need to see you play unless and until you don't
Game
play,
time,
you
game
don't
time.
get it.
This is game time.
Right, sir. Sir, we have another question from Sabhi Ganguly. Sir, what is your view of FSPL and how much can they help in developing football at grassroots level in India?
Hi, Sabi. It's a great question. See, I think they can do a lot as long as they don't think of themselves as a parallel body. So अब क्या हो रहा है, जो भी मैं देखता हूँ, जितना पैसा वो खर्च कर रहे हैं Reliance Youth Foundation पे on having those school and college games, I think if you spend the same money on our youth leagues, जो वो वहाँ खर्च कर रहे हैं, it will give you a better thing. So right now AFF is doing its own thing and Reliance does its own thing. We don't have to have two separate bodies doing it. We need to make them together because Reliance is running AFF. Everybody knows it. So they should not be doing that. They should actually have one core spending all the money together on one thing. Instead of having, and then there is the Schools Federation of India, and then there is Sports Authority of India, and then there are 4 bodies who are doing football alag alag. And imagine if all 4 of them pool their resources and there's one major thing. You can actually go to every single district of every corner of India and actual have trials there. Instead of what Sports Authority of India does, goes to all the capitals. What does AFF do?
Right.
Goes to all the capitals. What does Reliance do? Go to all the capitals. The main players you will find is in tier 2, tier 3 cities all over, not only in the capitals. Capitals, there are 20 academies already. If there's a player, that academy will find the player and send it to you.
Right. We have to focus on the places where there is nothing,
Nothing,
there is no
where there's nothing.
exposure.
Exactly.
Sir, Ankan Paul asks how actually data analytics and modern technologies can help Indian football clubs make better signings.
And he is Ankan. That's a great question because you heard right. Analytics had a huge impact on our success. I would probably say every year, I would say 50% is because of my analyst. And if he's watching and today's his birthday, he's now working for Morgan Sporting. So happy birthday, Devrup. Uh, I would say
Okay.
even scouting. Because when I got the team ready for my I League winning title season, I went on Instat and I saw 400 hours, 350 hours of videos, and I
Right.
was able to see the budget I have and find players of that budget and then give offers to those players and then see complete matches instead of seeing matches according to what the agents want to show you the highlights. So you come to know what a player is already, always. And then I always try to bring players from outside India. So you see Minerva has a habit of signing new players from foreigners instead of signing foreigners from India. Why? Because when
Right.
you have a new foreigner coming in, he has to still establish himself. If he doesn't have a good season the first year, nobody will take him the second year. He's out. So they will
Right.
give their life in that season. And that's why I had Chencho. And that's why I had Kasim. And that's why I had Dano and Limbu. So the kind of, and Apoku. So the kind of season they had in the very first season, none of them could replicate because उन्होंने first season में जान लगा दी थी. And it's Kasim. So
Right.
all these guys were, and got at what, $1,000, $1,100 a month, $1,200 a month. And this is the same season when Sunny Node was getting 4.5 crores. And that was one
Yes.
player. And we had, our entire budget was 1.4 crores. So all due to analytics. And then opposition analysis. So how does a small club like us we are able to beat and even manage bigger clubs? And every single year, even this year, we were able to do it because we are able to analyze the opposition to such an extent that I know in the corner what every opposition player will do. As long as they have played at least 4 matches before in that league, obviously you can't do it in the very first match of the league. And that is probably one of the only matches we lost, and we lost 3-0 to Churchill. So everybody thought, oh my God, we're going to get fucked this season. But later on,
Uh,
once the match started going, we got better and better and better. No, not only did we get better, I got more chances to analyze other teams. And the more data I had, the harder it became to beat me. So we had 8
right.
draws, we had 5 wins, but we had only 3 losses. The first one, and then we only lost 2 more matches after that during the entire road. One was a 4-3 super match against Neruka, which was away from home. And at home, we became unbeatable. And we still had 4 matches to go at home. So we knew that how you win a title is you become unbeatable at home and win 80% of your matches, which we were going to do. But if somebody has a season like Mohan Bagan, then you can't do much about it. Then they were playing at a
Yeah.
class, different class.
Yeah. Bombagan was on top of everyone, like,
Yep.
and in
See,
this coming season,
the the brilliant part,
last season.
strange part to know was that I had internationals with me this year like Lobo and Sanju Pradhan and Anwar Ali Senior and Yumnam Raju. So all these players who've been playing for the Indian big teams for a long time. But none of them knew what half space was. And that was a very big surprise for me. And then none of them knew what zone 14 was. Now, why? Because we think that these Goras in ISL team coaches who come, some of them, yes, are good. But most of them are not. They're really crap. I was really surprised to see that none of them knew about these terms. And the basic things which we are all normal football fans are able to come to know from just watching the English Premier League or the German Premier League. My footballers didn't know. My international footballers who had played all their lives in ISL clubs, they didn't know. Why? Because no
Right.
coach had ever told. So we are a long way behind where analysis and the impact it has on Indian football. For example, David, halftime meetings is where you actually change the match. And in India,
Yeah.
David Robertson's halftime talk used to be for 30 seconds. That's it. Have water, hydrate, let's go back. There's Real Kashmir for you. So it's about how different teams are taking it and the kind of football you want to play. If you want to actually play football, then you need to have long sessions with the boys on just analytics and analysis and opposition reports and what they are doing. So we, after every match, used to know how many passes every player has made with his right foot, with his left foot, accuracy of passes, how much he has worked with the body stats. We used to come to know how hard he has worked, what is distance he has covered, what is the speed which the distance has been covered, what is his
Right.
VO2 max percentage. Everything we had on our hands.
Okay. So you had intensive and like very a huge amount of data and in very very high
Huge
details, which
amount,
actually
and
helped you.
we had a complete team dedicated, 4 people dedicated to just analysis and dealing with an analysis.
Okay. So when it comes to analysis, was it a very primary reason for your success in 2018? It was a
Definitely,
record breaker.
definitely.
You
I would
bagged
say
all the titles
I
in all
was
age groups.
I would say it was not only a success there. See, in the senior teams, I have in 2018 I had a direct impact because I fired the coach just before the senior season the season started, and the technical director after the fourth match or third match. So basically, the whole thing was run by me and Sachin that year, and without an analysis, I could have not done fuck all. Simple as that. So, but now I know how much it matters because when I have won under 13, we've taken participated in one title, we won one. Under 15, we participated in 4 times, we won four. Under 18, out of four, we won one. So our winning percentage in titles, even in the seniors, four may say one, is over 50% if you look at it overall. That means every two leagues we participated, we win one. And that's not a fluke.
Right.
Those are because
Yeah.
we every see out for example all 4 years when I won the under 15 my team was not the best team. We just knew the opposition so well, and that's where analysis comes in even at a junior age group. For example, when we beat Mohammedan Sporting in the under 15 or under 13 final a few years back, under 13 final, we knew their best player was a striker called Shubho, who's now playing for the under Indian under 16 team along with Himanshu Jangra. And we had him man marked. And because we had him man marked, he used to be scoring 4 goals in a match. He could not score that day, and we won the match 2-0 or 3-0. And that's because we were able to do that at that age. So we are able to show our boys from a very very young age how much it makes a difference to know your opponent and to analyze your opponent and to play on their weaknesses other than obviously your strengths.
Right. So analysis is a big part,
Yeah.
definitely. And sir, we have a question from Sayanta Datto. You know him. Whom do you think have the best
Yeah.
chance to be the
And
winners of
so,
second division?
I have already given my answer. The best, see, the my for the first time in my life, the heart and the brain both say the same thing. Normally, the heart says something and the brain says something else. Mohammedan Sporting, guaranteed for me, should walk away with the title.
Right. Even I agree with you. Uh, Considering I even had talks with Jan regarding he told me about his team and all, and I was really impressed. Like the team that he
Why it's
created
looking
and
like
how he signed the
can
team. Yeah,
honest with you that team can beat an ISL team today. That's how good it is.
it looks like that. So like on their day, they might be like
I'm,
very very
I'm telling.
destructive.
Yep.
So we have from Prakhar Bhattacharjee. I have seen a player of Minerva Reserves, I think, playing good in various matches. His name is Saurabhanwala. How do you rate him, sir?
See, he's one of our boys from under 18 team which won the title last year. He's 6 feet 3, 6 feet 2. Again, one of the great centre backs we produced. He's so calm with the ball, calm without the ball, and very good with his head. And he is a boy to watch out for. So, see, he joined our academy very late. He joined our academy at the age of 17, and within 1 year, he was in our main team and in the under 18 team and our reserve team as well. And I would say that he's son of a corporal or I think a wing or something like that in the Indian Air Force, son of a service guy. So he's got the right values and he's very, very hardworking. I think he will go a long way if, again, he gets game time. And I really, if anybody is watching who wants to take him, I can give you a guarantee that at this age, it's very, very difficult to find boys like Saurabh. He's again 1920s, like Saurabhanwala, who will be a complete package as a centre back. So he's great one to watch for the future.
Mm. Akash Biswas asks, isn't it the quality scouting system which most of the I-League clubs as well the national team are lacking? Any views on it?
I totally agree, Akash, that our scouting system sucks very badly. If our Minerva team can go and beat, see the under 17 Indian World Cup team, we beat them to 1-0, and then our under 15 team beat the Indian under 15 team 2-0. And that's after they had spent 20 crores on that under 17 World Cup team by taking them to a tour of 20 countries and doing all that. So that means it's not that our team is better, it's that obviously, man, has to be that scouting system is not as good as even a club scouting system. And again, the reason I came to it was before, because they only go to the main hearts of every state. They do not go to the small places, they don't go to the tier 3 cities, they don't go to the villages and the districts. So they need to improve that. And the freelance scouting system, which you've asked of, is the idea about, especially in this Corona time. In fact, even a freelance, I'm talking about an app, man, that you can just upload your videos and send them. And then, I think most of the coaches can come to know by watching a video of, I'm talking about 6, 7, 8, 9 year olds. Obviously, other than that, you need to scout by watching a match. But under that
Right,
age, just by doing a couple of exercises, you can come to know the mastery of the ball by the person who's using it, by the boy or your girl who's using it. So I think
right,
that's a great way for AIFF starting, but unfortunately AIFF has not started that young. So where you come in now as a freelance scouting system is great. So any scout, which I think they should open it up, and that's what Minerva has. Minerva has a system of freelance scouting. I mean, any scout can come to us and say, okay, we've got this boy. So we would say, love, wonderful, great, and we'll sign a contract with the scout and with the boy immediately. We don't care who gets us the talent. We just want the talent, and that's how it should be for
right.
AIFF. दे शुड नॉट से कि ओके सिर्फ जो हमने ट्रायल किए हैं उसी में से सिलेक्ट करेंगे. अगर तुम्हारे को कोई अच्छा लड़का मिल रहा है और कोई लाके दे रहा है, तुम उसको देख तो लो. देखना तुम्हारा फर्ज बनता है. You can't say wait for the
Right.
trials when it happens.
So, news that everybody is looking forward to. Sandesh Shingan to 80K MB. I have got numerous questions and I have asked numerous people regarding this. I would like to know from you now.
Okay, Rajiv Burman. So let me give you the good news. If you are an 80K MB fan, then it's good news for you, because according to my information, which I think is correct, he has signed a 5-year deal with 80K MB. So he will be at the heart of your defense along with TD. And the kind of defense you people have and the kind of offense you people have, oh my God, 80K MB looks like the team to beat this year, man. It's turned out to be a great, fantastic team.
Exactly, 80K MB looks like a full package. It's going to be formidable to beat. Uh,
Especially
so what
looking forward to their matches in the AFC, man, because they can do really
exactly,
well.
sir?
Yeah.
Yes, with the squad they have at the moment, it looks like they can make
Yeah.
a good impact in the AFC
I
Cups.
think I think they can go all the way, bro.
You think so, sir? If that's a thing that's going to happen, then that's
I think
brilliant,
they can go.
right, sir? InfoWorld wants to ask you this. What do you think about the promotion and relegation system in the top three leagues, that is ISL, I League, and I League Second Division?
See, in for world, see that's exactly what I've been saying. What happens to Indians when we go nowadays abroad is that we do very well in any tournament, Asia Cup, World Cup qualifiers, wherever. We do very well in the first match, second match we are okay, third match we get screwed. Any moment we get pressure on any match, we get screwed. Our Indians cannot handle pressure. Simple as that. Why? Because in their league they're not used to pressure. 90% of our boys who are not fighting for the first three spots after the first month of ISL became carefree. They're just passing the ball to each other because victories and losses don't matter to them. And in the I League, you see that every player can play for pressure because even the last team can beat the first team, and everybody's either fighting for winning the title or they're fighting for relegation. There's nothing in the middle. And
Right.
unless we have promotion and relegation, there is no competition. Simple as that. And you have to have competition for a league to do well. A league has to be an open-ended league. That means merit-based league. Merit comes in only when there's promotion and relegation. That means the bad teams go down, the good teams come up by merit. जो
Right.
डिजर्व करता है जाएगा, जो डिजर्व करता है ऊपर आएगा. अगर आप बुरी टीमों को ऊपर रखोगे और अच्छी टीमों को नीचे से ऊपर नहीं आने दोगे, तो आपका कंट्री का फुटबॉल सिस्टम ही सक करेगा. It's going to suffer.
Right.
And which is happening
Right.
now in India. At this time, if we had promotion and relegation in one league, we probably would have been 15 places already higher on the league, on the international ranking.
Okay. Sir, Asif Malik has a counter question, which is, what do you think about the introduced relegation and promotion
Yeah, so
system
this
in
is
Indian
info
football?
world is Ashwin Malik. So Ashwin bhai, yes, it will definitely excite the clubs. In fact, it excites me because I have left football and I'm coming back to football aiming for 2025. It is exciting me every night. I will
Right.
get into second division and hopefully we will be able to win the second division and the I League within 3 years or 4 years. And by 2025, I want to be in the I League challenging for that first spot so that we have a chance to go to the ISL. I'm dreaming already. And not only me, there's so many
Right.
clubs who now in India can dream. They can be sitting in
Right.
their states and saying that we'll win the state championship, then we'll win second division, then we'll win I League. Why? Who's done it? Oh, Minerva's done it, yeah. Who else has done it? Oh, ISWA's done it. Who else? Oh, Chennai's done it. Who else? Bangalore's done it. Oh, so why can't we do it, man?
Right. It motivates people. It brings the competitive edge out of the people.
Exactly.
Uh, we have someone thanking you, Akash Biswas, and he has a little thing to say. So I hope the one sitting on the top of the concerned body starts thinking the same soon.
Bhai, I hope they start giving us time. Forget about thinking, at least time to दें थोड़ा सा. Maybe if they give us time from their precious lives, Indian football will improve.
So Noor Alam has asked, what is the major difference of playing in I League and AFC competitions? I think that's
See,
a major difference.
yeah, there's a huge difference. See, Noor Bhai, when we went there, we saw, first of all, we went to Iran. Difference between us and Iran is a huge deal. Difference between us and Bangladesh, unfortunately, should be the opposite way around. That when Bangladesh comes to India or Nepal comes to India, we should be like Iran to them. कि हम तो 4 गोल 6
Right.
गोल तो मारेंगे इनको यार. बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली हमारा ईरान के साथ वही रह गया है. बट हमारे साथ जो नीचे कंट्रीज हैं वो साले हमारे इक्वल आ गई हैं. Now Afghanistan can come and dream of winning in India. Bangladesh can come and dream of winning in India. Nepal comes and dreams of winning in India, man. And it's not only the clubs. It was first with the national team. हमारी national team ने ये dream दिया इन clubs को. हमारी national team ने
Right.
जब बांग्लादेश हारे उनसे draw किया, तब उनके clubs को dream आया कि अगर हमारा national team इनके national team को हरा सकता है, तो हम भी इनके club को हरा सकते हैं. And they got that belief.
Right.
Now suppose next time, suppose we play a club from Qatar, we can think that we can also draw with them, man. No big deal. Why? Because India has done it before. And somehow,
Right.
I don't know how it is, but it's somehow like this. If we play Argentina under 20, under 20, back of the mind is there कि हमने हराया हुआ है इनको.
So the
So
confidence comes automatically.
confidence comes automatically.
Right. So
So AFC
someone's
competition,
asking,
India needs to take it start more seriously because people don't realize that it affects our ranking. And
right.
5 साल पहले Mohan Bagan and East Bengal, I used to remember, used to send their second sides to these competitions because for them, the I League used to be more important than these competitions. I really hope now with ISL coming in, they don't make the same mistakes that the I League clubs made.
Right. So I don't think after the amount of uh, awareness that you are spreading, and others as well. So I don't think they're going to make these mistakes. Or we have questions for Omid Singh signing for East Bengal. Do you have anything to say in this regard?
See, bhai, I was talking to his agent, direct agent, and his agent had said that he had signed for East Bengal 6 months ago. And that agent, that they had a clause in it which said that suppose East Bengal doesn't get into the ISL, he can leave for another club. So in the middle, East Bengal was not going for the ISL and he had withdrawn. Now, apparently, Omid Singh's agent has sent the same contract to be signed to East Bengal to Mr. Alvito, and they are not replying to him. So, he has a feeling that either they have found some other player or there's another tactic of bringing the price down or whatever. But the second
Okay.
contract of Omid Singh has not been signed yet. So, when I tweeted that it's done, he was going to honor the contract which was signed 6 months ago. But the new contract, which has to be now valid, has not been signed yet. So it's still in the limbo.
All right. Okay, so it's still hanging. So there is nothing confirmed yet. It can go
So,
anyway.
and they should put pressure on their officials and ask them why it has not been signed yet. When the player
Right.
is
So
wanting to.
right. So any words on Sheikh Sahil?
Yeah, bhai. See again, young boy coming in, giving it his all in his club, and see Aniruddha. The point is that if isn't Sheikh Sahil also from the Mohun Bagan Academy?
Yes. Yes, sir.
See, exactly. And isn't Azruddin Malik also from the academy?
Whom, sir?
Azruddin Malik.
I'm not sure if he's from the academy.
But Shubho Ghosh is from the academy. Yeah. So these academy boys coming and doing so well shows that imagine if, see, it makes so much of a difference. If 50% of your team is from your academy, that means you're saving on 50% of the salaries, which normally Mohun Bagan gives 10 crore rupees of salary, you save on 5 crores. Now you
Right.
tell me 5 करोड़ का एक स्ट्राइकर ऐसा आ सकता है तुम्हारे पास जो सबकी पार दे और तुम 50-50 लाख दे के सारों से अपने 5-10 प्लेयर इकट्ठे कर लो नॉर्मल एवरेज वाले या
Right.
एक बारी 5 करोड़ अपनी एकेडमी पे खर्च कर लो उसके बाद तुम्हारी एकेडमी 50% प्लेयर्स तो देगा ही देगा और तुम्हारे को हर साल 5 करोड़ रुपए बचाएगा which you can invest in a striker or
Right.
and you can even sell and then these players after 3-4 years you can sell them for 4 crores 5 crores as revenue. So it's a
Right.
win-win situation. And I don't know why clubs don't understand it when I've proven it to them that by investing in your academy and on your youth, it is a win-win situation. How come I am the only club who's ever been sold? I have been sold because I had a great academy system. They were not only buying the senior team, they were buying the entire system from under 10s going
Right.
up to the senior. And that's what they paid money for my players. And I know I can do it all over again, but they have to understand nobody comes and buys a club just for your senior team. They buy it for the entire
Right.
system. Now, अगले 10 साल के लिए, like next year, Punjab FC's 2 center backs are already done. Vikas Shumnam and Harmipom, ready-made center backs उनके पास बैठे हुए हैं.
Straight from the academy.
Straight from the academy. And already got
Right.
18 matches of game time in the I-League last year with Arrows. Properly primed and given to them. और क्या चाहिए उनको? So this
Right.
is what
So
they have to do. If you invest in youth, the youth will always give back to you.
it's a last question for you from Prafar. What are your views on Rafael Crivellaro from Chennai?
See, I think he's a really, really good player, man. You're talking about the player, na? He's a really, really good player. And
Yes.
now the point is, everybody this year has made good signings, and
Right.
this year I can see that ISL teams have not just gone for marquee players. कि जो बूढ़े होते हैं जो
Yes, sir.
retire हो, they've actually gone for performers, the ones who can actually do something in the league. Thank God, because we wanted not ISL should not be a place for people to come and retire. It should be a
Right.
place for people to come and perform. Because if
Right.
see, we are not going to We don't want to be that league where people come and retire. We want to be that league which is the best in the world, and only then our
Right.
players will become by playing with old people. So it's good. It's
Right.
happening now, and I think it'll be good. I'm just waiting for the first derby to happen. That is a match I'm waiting
Right.
for very early, because
Everybody is
then
waiting, sir.
people will, for the first time, ISL will understand what real football is when they'll see a full house.
Right. Like
At
that
least this year,
though the
although
the crowd that the Kolkata Derby actually gathers, it's one of
bro,
the best in Asia.
not comparable, bro. I'm not seeing the kind of passion there
Exactly.
is.
Sir, before we dive into the very major question, please tell your views regarding futsal, and then we can go on to the big question of the night.
Okay. See, futsal is very, very important. Unless your country is developed in futsal, you cannot do well. Simple as that. I do truly believe that. In fact, the first thing which I am now making my World Cup batch do on a daily basis is play futsal. In the morning, there's football training.
Ah,
In the evening, there's futsal. Why? Because in a four-a-side, three-a-side, five-a-side match, the number of touches you will have on the ball per 30 minutes is 10 times the number of touches you will have in a 90-minute 11-a-side match. Why?
right.
Because this field is smaller, decision making. So all the things which are there in normal football are there in futsal, except kicking long,
Right.
which is not football. Okay, so you will have shooting, you will have passing, you will have thinking, you will have quick decision making, you will have turning, you will have everything
Agility,
except
acceleration.
yes. So I think it's a great way to develop skills, and especially at a younger age. The more, see, in France, French people do very well because they play this cage football, cement football. In Brazil, in
Right.
the favelas, they play street football, and in other
Right.
places they play soccer or beach football. See, every place where the small-sided games which will do well, and that's what Iceland did. Iceland made 5,000 not pitches; they made 5,000 five-a-side grounds, and
Right.
that's 10 15 years ago, and that's where the revolution came from. So futsal is the way
Right.
to go for. It's the way to involve the normal public, and in fact more people will follow futsal than normal football because everyone can relate to it.
Right. Everybody, even 50, 60 year olds play futsal among their friends, and
That
even
anyone,
10 year
anyone
olds
can.
play. Exactly. Sir, now let's get to the major question that has been full in the comment section. East Bengal or Mohun Bagan? Which is your team? This is a
See,
big question, sir.
the question earlier used to be very easily answered because by and by through and through Mohun Bagan, because the kind of love and support I used to get from Mohun Bagan used to be unconditional, and I can never pay it back. In fact, one of the top moments of my life when I would say would be Jackson Singh's goal or Anwar Ali's goal, and the same list would be me getting a standing ovation from over 40,000 people in when I, as an opposition team owner, when I was playing for Minerva. So I almost cried that day. I had goosebumps. So it was a very emotional moment for me. But nowadays, East Bengal fans have started really warming up to me. तो पहले सिर्फ गालियाँ निकालते थे, तो अब प्यार भी करते हैं. Can't say that I have a favorite, but what I can say is, see, the point is that I will be very happily be able to give my life for these clubs, because these clubs are the ones who made Indian football. And I have nothing but utmost respect and love for the fans. Yes, the fans of Mohun Bagan and my love for them is more because their love for me is more. But if East Bengal fans love me, I love them back the same way totally. It's the
Right.
football I love. When I used to see, the point is, even for Mohun Bagan, same thing. I love the fans, I hate the officials. And that's not about East Bengal. I saw Mohun
Okay.
Bagan and East Bengal, both officials I hate. The fans I love.
The fans bring in a lot of passion. Like in the ground, you can
Why?
see, sir, it's
Without
world
fans, there is
famous.
no game. Without fans, there is no game. Without fans, there is no football. And officials need to understand that unless fans are there, there is no football. You are not more than the fans. The players are not more than the fans. Officials are not more than the fans. Club is not more than the fans. Everything starts and stops with the fans. They have to be the most important thing. Simple as that.
Right. The fans actually make up the club. The club is void without the fans. But then
Exactly.
the I League
Fans is
second division, right? So, but this time we will be missing each and every one of them in both I League and ISL in Kolkata and Goa respectively.
It's looking
So
like if you watch matches these days, it looks like a bloody training match. Training का match हो रहा होता है.
yes,
दुखता है.
right. Like there are echoes when they kick the ball. Like these sounds actually come during the practice sessions.
Exactly,
Or
training match.
right. But sir, this is a situation which we cannot avoid at the moment. So at least game हो रहा है. That's a very like heartwarming thing कि at least football देखने मिलेगा इंडियन में इंडिया में.
Yeah.
बाहर तो मिल
Finally,
रहा है but इंडियन फुटबॉल
finally,
का एक exactly sir
finally.
finally.
I hope. I think they are going to be streaming it live. Yes.
Yes, yes. I think I League and ISL will be streamed. I don't know about the I League second division. Probably it won't be streamed. It's a very short tournament anyway.
Yeah,
It's going to be
but
held at
it's the
Calcutta.
only football happening in India. Trust me, the kind of stuff they can provide will be amazing and mind blowing, man. If they can do that.
Right, right. So sir, अभी देखते हैं क्या होता है ये sir. So we can conclude that for second division you're rooting for Mohammedan, and for ISL it's any of the two.
Definitely, if
All
anyone has
right.
to win it, it has to be the ones from the I League.
Definitely, definitely, sir. For as a fan growing up, I League was the thing to watch, and
The
slowly
only
it's shifting
which
to
is
ISL.
I look forward by even as a club owner. If my club's matches wish to go on, मिनर्वा का मैच चल रहा है आई लीग में और हमारे टेबल पे डजंट मैटर कि हमारा कंपटीशन चल रहा है नहीं चल रहा, अगर उस दिन डार्बी है, सारा कुछ छोड़ छाड़ के अपने मैच के बारे में भूल के सारी हमारी मिनर्वा की टीम, सारे लड़के जो हमारे ओपोनेंट्स हैं वो सारे ऐसे बैठ कर देख रहे होते थे कि वो डार्बी चल रही, चुप करके बैठ जाओ देख लो. Because that's the match you used to look forward to as an Indian football fan. If you're a
Yes,
true
sir.
Indian
That's
football,
right. Exactly, sir. If you're a true Indian football fan, then only you know that it's in the heart,
that
sir. It's
you know the passion
exactly in
involved
the
with that.
heart, right, sir. It's actually giving me goosebumps at the moment thinking
Yeah,
about the crowd
I
that we
got
had.
goosebumps right now while talking about it. I just got goosebumps as well.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it happens all the time. Every time we talk about this derby and Indian football, it's really makes us all emotional. And sir, you know it better than anyone. You know it better
And
than anyone.
what I'm saying, our officials should be like us. जब तक उनको
Right.
दर्द नहीं होगा, जब इंडिया हारती है, जैसा दर्द दर्द होता है ना हमें अंदर,
हाँ सर.
जब टीम हारती है, जब दर्द होता है, वैसा दर्द हमारे ऑफिशियल्स को नहीं होएगा, तब तक इंडियन फुटबॉल कांट गो फॉरवर्ड. बिकॉज उनको
Right, sir.
दर्द, एंड जब उनको दर्द होने लग जाएगा ना, अपने आप ठीक हो जाएगा सब कुछ. सो वी नीड पीपल विद
Right,
रियल
sir.
पैशन हु रियली केयर, मैन. दैट्स इट.
I remember one thing I would like to share with you. The you probably remember the match between India and Bahrain, of course, right, sir? And that match, I'm sure my friend is watching. It's for you. Remember, we all bought some pizzas and everything. We actually we were ready for a party that day, and then we had nothing. We had nothing. कुछ नहीं खाया हम लोग, बस ऐसे ही सो गया. इसी रूम में थे हम लोग, मैच उधर देखे, बस सो गए हम लोग. कुछ बात नहीं किया किसी से,
You know,
एकदम सो गए.
like, you know what? Somehow this game is so crazy, bhai, that losing a match to your arch rival as a football club, or when India loses a match, it's like you are dealing with some kind of death, man. You
Exactly,
understand?
exactly.
That's the kind of thing कि जब, so I don't want to say it, but that's people who understand football fans का होता है ऐसा है कि suppose
Right,
you
sir.
know somebody has died और जो feeling आती है कि भूख नहीं लग रही, कुछ नहीं करना है, I just want to sit and cry, I just want to sleep, man, छोड़ दो मुझे अकेला, वो feeling
Exactly,
आती
sir.
है सर. And now you know, and the people who know what I'm talking about, they know exactly what I'm
Right.
talking about.
पूरा दिन खराब हो जाता है या फिर पूरा दिन अच्छा हो जाता है. मतलब ये डिसाइडर है दिन का कि क्या होगा. अगला 5 दिन मूड सही रहेगा कि नहीं रहेगा, वो मैच के ऊपर डिपेंड करता है.
बिल्कुल, बिल्कुल. और कहीं अगर कोई बड़ा टूर्नामेंट है जहां पे बाहर निकल गए फिर तो पूरा महीना गया भाई.
खत्म. ये जो बारेन वाला मैच हुआ उसके बाद तो हम लोग का दिमाग
फिर
पूरा
तो
खराब हो गया.
यार फिर दिल सोशल मीडिया में जाने का दिल नहीं करता था कि जाना ही नहीं यार, छोड़ो क्या करना। और
क्या
उससे पहले
क्या क्या
सब
पोस्ट आएगा क्या सब।
सपोर्ट, लाइक, टैग, रीट्वीट सारा
हाँ
कुछ कर रहे
पागल हो
हैं।
जाते हैं, पागल हो जाते हैं हम लोग।
यार अगले दिन जाके देखना ही नहीं कुछ, छोड़ो यार, चलो।
पूरा एकदम लाइक गोल होता है, फोन में फोन खोल के
See,
फेसबुक में लाइव करके चिल्ला रहे हैं हम लोग।
in India, that's why the game is so beautiful. That's why people from all over are brought together by this feeling. This feeling doesn't need
राइट
languages. This feeling doesn't need any translation. This feeling is universal, and that's what this game
राइट
can do.
राइट सर, दैट्स अ ब्रिलियंट ब्रिलियंट गेम। it's rightly said as a beautiful game.
Beautiful game,
And
beautiful.
Indian fans are amazing, I must say.
By that,
Indian
I
football
think the
fans are amazing.
kind of shit they've been through. See, that's what I'm saying. That's why I have a lot of respect for the East Bengal fans. At least Mohun Bagan's fans have got something in the last 5 years. East Bengal fans haven't got anything in the last 14 years, so I have a lot of respect for them because अगर मैं इनकी जगह होता तो मैं तो ऑफिशियल्स को ऐसे जूते मारता ना अभी तक भाई God.
So like even after not getting, they are still cheering for their team, like filling up the
Yeah,
stadiums,
and then they're
doing
coming and they're
everything.
trying to save them. And even then they know that this team is going to be at the end moment. Even if we're about to win the title, one of these fuckers is going to make sure by doing something stupid, he's going to sabotage his own team. And that's what these officials have been doing with East Bengal for the last so many years, and with Mohun Bagan, in fact. So many times in the last 10 years, Mohun Bagan or East Bengal could have won the title, and it's because of some stupid mistake not the coach has made, but the official has made, has cost the team the title.
So it's a game that connects everywhere, and minute details can change the result
Very,
drastically.
very, very true. Very true.
Sir, I would say thank you for. It's been more than an hour, more than like almost double of what we expected. But then बात में कब तक इतना टाइम चला गया समझ नहीं पाए हम लोग.
It's been such a
Sir,
pleasure to Koba, and especially a pleasure to be with you, Abhishek Banerjee, and with the entire Quad
thank
Koba
you, sir.
team, and Yant as well, and Yantan as well. So thank you so much, guys, for having me, and to all the football fans watching there, now keep supporting Indian football, keep supporting Quad Koba, and go on and join AFCAI. If you not
Yes,
don't have a club or an academy, doesn't matter, go and join as a volunteer because we need you as well. So whatever you're good
right,
in, we can how much ever time you can spare in a week or in a month, we are okay with that. So come and help us and take Indian football forward.
right, sir. We have one last request from Aniruddha Das. If you
Yeah.
could, sir, last request, can you say "Shop খেলার সেরা বাঙালির তুমি ফুটবল"? He wants you to say this.
Stop khela shera Bangalir Tumi football.
Good one, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
It's
Anirudh.
been a pleasure and honor for me and the whole of Whatever team to have you in our platform. And the way we connected, I feel like I actually met a true crazy Indian football fan after a long time in
Totally,
this
bro. You
lockdown.
see, that's what I'm saying. That's why the fans love me because I'm not a club owner, man. I'm a fan. I'm just like you guys. And that
Right,
is
sir.
why I
We resonate.
so well because I understand exactly where you guys are coming from.
Right, sir. Sir, thank you. And hopefully, we'll
You,
have
Jai
you
Hind, sir.
again someday.
Pleasure being here. Love you so much, Abhishek. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Jai Hind, guys.
Jai Hind.